Good morning, everyone. I'm just gonna wait about 8 more minutes and then we'll get started on the pre-market watch list. Just waiting for a few more people to join. Very nice move there on FULC. You can see that we held 20 pretty well and we're starting to break out, and we're testing basically yesterday's highs towards $22. We also have ZEV, which is pretty interesting. It's kind of doing a similar pattern right now. You see that yesterday, we ended up grinding back towards the end of the day and kind of reclaiming and holding above 11 so far. So if we can kind of do something similar on ZEV, like hold a higher low above 11s, 1150, I think this one might try to follow FULC and try to break out as well towards 12. So that might be something to watch. Hopefully we get some nice follow through as well on this FULC. Definitely a really strong one. A lot of you probably know this, but they even dropped an offering in after hours, and it still held up really well. So there's the new highs on FULC. I'm just gonna go ahead and we'll begin the watch list now. So we'll go over the main gappers, and also I made a watch list last night that I want to go over as well. So you can see we have CWBRs gapping up, GTIM, MDIA held up pretty well after yesterday. So there's a lot of potential today, in my opinion. I'm going to start off with my watch list that I made yesterday, and I'll try to get that as quick. I'll get through that as quick as possible, and then we'll go through the gappers. So the first one on my watch list was actually this one, FULC, which I kind of went over already. Let's take a look at the daily chart on FULC. So as you can see, this $22 is actually a very key level on the daily as well. We have all-time highs, it looks like, at 22.96. So for FULC, there's basically no resistance. We're almost at all-time highs as far as I can see. So really the sky's the limit here. Shorts are probably really in trouble at this point. The next one on my watch list was ZEV. I kind of just went over this one as well. You know, as long as we can build higher lows above 11, I still think this might try to make a similar move to FULC and kind of break out today. But I'll probably wait until the open on this one. We'll see kind of where it's trading at towards the open. For this one's daily chart as well, you know, we have some big levels that we're trading at right now. A lot of resistance towards 12 on the daily chart, a lot of resistance towards 13. So we are kind of running into some levels on ZEV that might come into play. The next one on my watch list was Mdia. The reason I put it on the watch list is because, well, we were watching it yesterday. It had a really nice run up. We had a lot of volume yesterday, I believe. Traded 23 million yesterday, so decent amount. On this big day when it ran, it actually traded a lot more though, around 87 million. But yeah, overall, I'm still long biased on this one for now. I'm hoping that we can break out through 12 and push higher. However, it is kind of a chase to buy up here. I would rather be in, you know, on these dips towards VWAP, but there really wasn't a lot of volume. And that was actually really early in the morning. But yeah, it's been holding up pretty well. We'll see if this breaks out through 12, and maybe we'll get a retest of these big levels from the last run on Mdia. That's definitely going to be one of the main watches today for me, is this Mdia as well. A few more from the watch list. ZME gapped up, not much going on there though. UPST is another gapper. GTIM was on my watch list last night also. Let me take a look at this one as well on the daily chart. So we have a lot of resistance towards the 6s here from this previous run. But it wasn't really trading that much volume. So for GTIM, this one I basically just have an open bias right now. I'm actually, well, I'm probably slightly more long bias just because it's holding up pretty well in pre-market. I feel like if we get a lot of volume to come in after the open, I think this could, you know, break out further. So I have an open bias on this one. It just needs to hold above that 580 level, and we need to see some decent volume. So that's definitely going to be a main watch as well, GTIM. FSR was another stock. We were watching this one yesterday. You know, it had that gap up, pretty nice breakout in the morning, and then we had this nice short setup under VWAP for the fade. So that one, you know, gave some nice setups yesterday, FSR. The fact that we grinded all the way back up above VWAP and we're starting to kind of hold VWAP, I think this one still has potential to push higher, you know, later on maybe. So if we start to build up over this 1850, maybe keep it on watch in case it tries to break out towards 19 again. Gonna set a few price alerts on FSR if that happens. So I'm not going to go over every single one on the secondary watch list. If you're in the private Discord room, you guys have access to that, so you guys can go through that list. Alright, so that was pretty much everything on the watch list. Let's just go over the gappers now. I don't think I went through all of those. So another gapper that I'm watching today as well is this CWBR. I checked the filings on this one. I think they do have like 100 million in remaining shelf value on one of their S3s, so they might have some dilution. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a filings expert, but that's just what I'm looking at. But with that being said, you know, I am interested in a short on CWBR, but you can see we're trading at $2 right here. We have kind of a breakout level on the daily chart at 220. So, you know, for longs, if we can kind of hold this support and build back up through 220, and then, you know, you could potentially look for a breakout through that key level later on if it sets up. But, you know, I could also see this just spiking and then, you know, fading back down towards like 160 later on. So I could see both of those happening. If this just breaks down, I'm not going to take a huge short position. You know, I might take a smaller position and try to scalp like a breakdown. But the only way I would be, you know, really interested in a short and maybe bigger size is if we broke out on the daily chart and then, you know, tested these bigger levels. Then I would be really interested in short. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I think it's more likely to fade. It feels pretty heavy on the tape right now. But, that's one that I'm probably going to wait for the open just to see how it reacts and then kind of go from there. So CWBR, definitely a top watch for me, for my trading style. See if GTIM can hold up or not, you know. And I am slightly bullish. I think volume can come in and push higher on this, like I said earlier. But, yeah, just be careful for now, because it could spike and then reject like it did earlier and then start to fade back down as well. So you got to always think about both sides, right? That's really pretty much it. I know there's just a couple more on the gappers, like DYAI. This is definitely another top watch for me. Let's take a look at the daily chart. So it's a pretty beaten up daily chart, but you can see that it does have history of spiking pretty big and then, you know, closing weak. So if this one spikes big today, I'm going to look to short it if it gets really extended. And then hopefully we had a deep fade. So, you know, I'm open to both sides on this. If it holds above 420, you can look for the breakout maybe after the open. If it gets extended later, I'm going to be looking for a short on DYAI. Definitely a top watch. I've traded that stock many times before. Mogo is another gapper. We're trading around $7 right now. Let's take a look. Got a lot of resistance at 7 on the daily and towards 850. But yeah, if it reclaims VWAP and builds back up and we get a lot of volume, I'll still keep an open bias on Mogo. This could try to push higher if it reclaims that key level. But then, you know, if it rejects and puts in lower highs, I could also see this breaking the support and then maybe flushing towards 650. Hopefully we get some volume though, and it pushes higher first. So MOGO is something to watch. FULC, like I was saying earlier, we are at all-time highs right now. So just know there is no resistance whatsoever to go off of on the daily chart. But yeah, guys, I pretty much covered everything, and we still have about 20 minutes until the market opens. So if you guys have any questions, let me know in the YouTube comments. Also, guys, I do want to mention for our private Discord room, we do still have some discount slots left if you guys want to join. And if you do join the private Discord, you're going to get my watch list in the morning. At nighttime, you're going to get my watch list as well. Live commentary every day. You're going to get alerts occasionally as well. And you're also going to get the live scans and a lot more. So if you guys want to join, just make sure you use the link in the description. And you have to use the code NEWSUB. I'll type that out. It's NEWSUB. If you use that code, you'll actually get a discount on monthly membership. So there's still a few discount slots left. And yeah, I hope I'm helping you guys out with these pre-market watch lists. You guys can always go back and, watch these videos again. That way you can get a good feeling of, what I'm looking for. And then you can go back and see what happened later in the day. Did it play out the way that I said it would, or I thought it would? And it's just going to help you learn a lot faster, especially if you're really new to this. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. I'm probably just going to chill for a little bit until the market opens, and I'll let you guys know if anything else pops up on the scanners. Alright guys, we got about 2 minutes until the market opens. Just be sure to pay attention to the YouTube live chat. That's where I'm going to be typing at most of the time. And I'll be sure to let you guys know what's popping up on the scans. But yeah, so far FULC is just grinding up for now towards the open. Still watching CWBR. I want to see how it reacts to this $2 level towards the open. GTIM is looking a little weak at the moment. But yeah, I'm basically just watching these, so give it a couple more minutes. Really big spike in rejection there on MDIA. That really stuffed a lot of chasers on that stock. So we're probably going to see this lower high come in, maybe flush lower, unless it kind of traps again and then spikes back above 1150. So that's what I would watch for. But yeah, they definitely trapped a lot of chasers on that candle. ZEV is kind of pulling back pretty heavy there under 11. So far, CWBR held $2, so hopefully we can get a volume push on CWBR. We'll see how it reacts. It still has to stay above $2. DYAI is on the scans as well. There's that breakout on DYAI. Looks like ORPH is on the scans. So I'm still watching CWBR. So far we're still trying to hold 2, and we're starting to curl back up again. Nice push there on DYAI, also on ORPH. We're still trying to push on CWBR. We do have, like I mentioned though in pre-market, we do have a very big level on the daily chart, which is right at this like 225 level. Nice push, CWBR. Let's see if we can test that 220 level. Nice breakdown on GTIM. It was looking weak. It rejected VWAP. It was forming that lower high. DYAI is also pulling back pretty hard as well. It's right back at that pre-market breakout level. CWBR, here's this 220 test almost. Nice push there on CWBR. This is the big level that I was referring to on the daily, that 225. You see how it rejected that level pretty harshly there? Nice spike on ACHL. Alright, on CWBR, if this ends up turning into a lower high, let's say it has a little bounce, rejects again, and then starts to break under like this 195 support level, we might even get a flush to the downside and break the support and flush. If that happens, my target would be like the 160s on a short. So we'll see if it puts in a lower high here or not. Obviously, if it builds back up towards 220, I'll keep an open bias. But for now, that's what I'm waiting for. Alright, it looks like we have our first halt today on ACHL. Alright, so far we actually held 2 on CWBR and we're curling back up. So I still have an open bias on it. We'll see if it can build back above VWAP and back towards that 220 level. If it does that, then obviously we'll keep an open bias for a potential breakout later through 220s. But, you know, if this rejects and we break under 2 later on, then I would probably look for a short at that point. Guys, I think my internet's being spotty. I'm not even sure if my stream is still on, but if it did cut out, I do apologize about that. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream for the morning. I hope I was able to kind of help you guys out a little bit to focus on the right stocks. I'm still gonna be watching CWBR. I'm hoping this can build up and give us a bigger play later on. Um, and then we still have ORPH, which is still in play for now, and a few others. So I hope you guys have a really nice day. I'll try to do another pre-market watch list probably on Friday. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out and send me a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.